try to
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell people that we hear you.
McMustard Radio, episode 5. I'm here with the Colonel, John McMustard. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks, Mark. Well, I say very well. It was a rough weekend in Manchester, a good one, but I played the first gig down in Manchester, so you're obviously going to go large when you're in Manchester.
Mad for it?
Mad for it, yeah. Yeah, a kid.
So, are we getting too old for this?
I think we're hitting that point where we're overdoing it more than when we were younger, and we need to have a look in the mirror. But ask me that again tomorrow, and it'll probably be more looking forward to the weekend again.
See, I think I'm actually I'm much better behaved than I was, but I just think that there is that recovery time is getting harder and harder to justify because it's taking longer. I mean, I wasn't in Manchester. I was at the Secret Animal Garden party, which was a great wee day, and then obviously there was a few drinks. You only get to relax. You like yourself. You only get to, if you're usually a headline act as well, so you only get to relax after you've finished. So kind of behave before. I can't speak for you, but I kind of behave before I've done everything. Once I'm finished, done, the show's over. Then that's when I just get into my own as people are going home.
Usually that is the case. I only had a couple of pints before we went on, so that's fairly normal because you don't want to overdo it and be sounding rubbish, particularly when you know half the band are going to have been overdoing it all day. So you need to have at least 50% of the band performing to pull off the Dijon 5 madness.
So what would it work if everyone else in the band's sober? Is that a green light for you to hit the whiskies or something?
Possibly in the past it has been, but it was quite good at the weekend there. Big Moggs, the drummer, he was well gone. They'd got the earlier train down, but he's still brilliant. Craig's one of these guys that can play even if he's had 2 bottles of bucky or whatever. But he kept finishing songs early. You'd be halfway through a song and he'd finish it, and the band would go with it, and then you're like, no, we can't let. We're not finishing the song there, but I would just come in a cappella in the next bit. But it's sometimes quite good, that level of madness when you're playing.
Well, I think a big part of what you do is this big yellow party. So you've got about 16 people on the stage, and I think that's part of the fun is especially at festivals on a Sunday. If you go when you used to play the Eden Sunday Festival in the main stage, you'd go like, right, who's where? Where are they all at in this? So here's what Moods Fest. So obviously, Moods Fest, in case you don't know, listeners, is hosted by a great band from Manchester called The Moods, and so we were actually playing the Barrowlands. That was one of the main reasons I gave you a shout, John, because I was like, right, well, we've just announced a gig this week, which is the Gyro Babies are celebrating 10 years of live shows by playing the Barrowlands. John McMustard with me here has got a new show in The Moods and Mungo's Hi-Fi with one more to be confirmed. So yeah, so I talk a wee bit about the Barras and The Moods and stuff like that.
The Moods were great hosts. Brilliant band as well. That's the first I've actually seen them live. Seen stuff online, but they've got an affiliation with Glasgow. A lot of that's down to yourself and the New Hellfire Club guys, and when they come up here, they say the Glasgow crowds are the best. And they love bringing yous down, us Mickey Nines and all that, and because it's in Manchester, they're saying they don't have bands like us, which is it's nice that we are seen to be doing something a wee bit unique up here, but they almost feel more part of what we're doing maybe than the traditional guitar scene down in Manchester. But they were all lovely guys and girls and made us feel so welcome, and had put on a nice after party where we just all went for a wee drink in Retro in Manchester afterwards. But it was a great gig and they all went for it, and their crowds were brilliant. They're a band that should be playing like Boomtown, on a big stage at Boomtown, and it'd be good to it'd be good to see them because I think they would totally shine there because they've got that drum and bass thing, you know.
Yeah, that's why when I first seen the Moods, I played a gig down in Salford and I met one of the guys and they were a totally different sound back then. And then the next time I seen they had their music video and it was like rappers in it involved and I was like, oh, this is interesting. But like you said, it's I don't like the word commercial. It's accessible. The music, the beats are kind of drum and bass. It sounds now. It sounds very much now. They've got some brilliant MCs, but
And the string player as well. She was fantastic and just gave it that lift. Terry Christian for the Word was in the audience. Aye. He was just standing at the back. He didn't cross the roads. But he enjoyed all the sets. I think he's played the Moods before. And there's a mutual friend he came along with.
Apparently he's played us before or something. Somebody said that I can't remember. I don't know if someone gave him a Gyro Babies or no, I think he maybe just said the Gyro Babies are a great band on Twitter or something. But did you get a chat with him? Aye. Do you think does he look like a wee bit like Stuart Lee in real life?
He does. He actually, you could play Stuart Lee in a parallel Mancunian universe. No, it's brilliant because I used to stay up at night and watch the Word, and you know, you weren't allowed to watch it, but you would go up to your room and turn it on before you were allowed to go out, you know, and so the Word was a big thing. First place I saw, I think, Nirvana and Oasis and stuff like that, and so after I came off, I was like, so are we getting the Word on Friday then? He just laughed. But I know he was brand new and chatting away. I think he's one of these guys who's just a working class guy who is true to his roots, but is also almost like he's not part of that total right wing media thing. But they sometimes get him in, and he's well, he used to go on the right stuff, and he goes on the Jeremy Vine show and stuff like that now. But I think you can tell that he's in a difficult position because he's one of the few voices in the left type thing invited onto these shows. So it's a tricky situation because that's his career, but he also he speaks his own mind.
That's an interesting point because I was actually talking about this last week in the show, which was, you know, you're actually perfectly placed. You were on BBC Alba recently, or BBC Scotland as well. So obviously there's a lot of people, because of the hip hop documentary that came out last week. Look, a lot of people were complaining. People always complain about anything, but they were complaining about not enough people were mentioned, and they also complained that being on the BBC is selling out. And there's some arguments that can be made for that, and that I can agree with. Although then I see people that I respect, like Paul Keaton. He was the first person to play us on the radio. I see him on Sky News sometimes. And I'm saying Sky News is. I mean, if you've got a problem with BBC, then you've got to have a problem with Sky News as well. But when you see good people coming on from the left or just coming up with an alternative, I wouldn't even say the left, just an alternative viewpoint to the right wing thing. If everyone boycotts that, what's going to happen? What's your stance on this?
I can see it from most sides as well. I think it kind of changes hands, doesn't it? Who's in charge at the top and how much pressure the government at the time are putting on them. For me, I think it's important that, you know, good art is out there, and if you've got a platform for that to happen, then hopefully things can change. My overall opinion is things change more from within institutions rather than people, you know, protesting, or as much as that's, you know, go out and protest and, you know, wave your flag and post things online, but real change comes from within organisations, and sometimes that means there's a tipping point where they go too far one way, but then, you know, like I suppose the way things have changed within the LGBT community and in other areas of our society where things have progressed, but it kind of has to happen from within institutions. And if there's bands like us and, I don't know, hip-hop documentaries and stuff like that getting played in the BBC, for me that can only be a good thing. But also I understand there's been a lot of bad things went down in that corporation that, we should still be talking about, and that continue to need to be addressed. But I think, overall, it's I think it's important that there is good art on the BBC.
So the thing I always find quite interesting is the kind of subtle manipulation that people that do get given the platform have. So for example, like I've only got a very small example I can give personally. When I went on, we were on STV Live, and it was a live show, and the woman that booked us, she made me promise 5 times via email, and then on the night she repeated 4 times, please don't swear, please, don't do it. Don't do it. But and I was like, why would I swear? Like, why am I? I'm not gonna use. I'm not gonna make a big statement on STV Live. Do you know what I mean? It's not exactly going to change the world. It's just going to get some good people into trouble that are obviously the only people that have ever given us a chance to go on live TV. So obviously I didn't want to do it, but I just also felt as well that obviously I didn't want to do it at all. But I was like, there is that kind of like, well, if I do that, if I did something now, I would never get on TV ever again. So the way I always see it is there's lots of people that I know that they go on and they're like, well, I'm not going to rock the boat this time because what I need to do is get my platform bigger, and then I can really tell them what's what. And then obviously, as your platform gets bigger, you know your salary gets bigger. You've got kids to look after, and there's more to lose. So,
I totally see your point there, and I think it is that thing as well. But also there's that thing of not wanting to let the person down that's giving you a wee break. And if you're the guy that does that, then they're going to get into trouble off of their bosses because they've made the introduction. But I think you can do it in a subtle way. You don't need to go on and swear to make a point. Your songs make very good points, and that documentary the other night, that's even for a generation of people that don't even still know that there's Scottish hip hop and that there's all that history there. The same way it did for ICW wrestling, it's like this is a thing and it's an important thing.
That's a good point about ICW, and that just made them mainstream, and that was that's just that was a company that was doing very well independently, but they were struggling before that, and it got them the sort of wage. I mean, I think especially for as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad to see that the Scottish hip hop documentary was made by someone, and it just means that apparently there's people I've seen dancing that there's people they're talking about it in 6 years are talking about it at school as part of their English thing. So it's like this has just opened up a whole new doors for I think people in academic circles that didn't really know. And also, it just means that now people have got something they can go to rather than just typing Scottish hip hop into YouTube. That'll probably come up now as an actual. Well, here's a document to get you to ease you in, rather than just picking some. You pick. It's only genre in the world where you see one bad Scottish rapper and you go, oh, I've seen Scottish hip hop, it was terrible. I seen a guy, or you meet a guy on a bus stop and he starts rapping, and you're like, oh, that was terrible, man. You wouldn't do that about guitar music. You wouldn't go, oh, I seen a guy play guitar once. It was absolutely terrible. I'm never watching that again.
No, it's good, and I think it's introduced me to, I hadn't realised the history in the plaza with the breakdancing and all that, and I just thought it was overall it was brilliant. Half an hour was obviously short amount of time, but I think like a lot of these things, this will kick on and become something bigger. So all the kind of folk that are moaning that about not getting enough airtime or that it didn't cover everything, there's no way you can do that within half an hour. But somebody's actually shone a light on it in the first place, and folks should be celebrating that and looking forward. And even in my head, I'm like, well, if all the guys came together that were part of that and put on a big night somewhere, folk would go to it, and I think things will definitely kick on from it. Darren's obviously just different level now in terms of what he's doing, so it's brilliant to see that, and he's totally shining a light on a lot of good things happening up in Scotland.
Absolutely. Is fair play, to Dan. Aye. The so let's go back to the show that's coming out. So obviously we know he is the lead singer of Colonel Mustard and the Dijon Five, who have played everywhere for Kirkintilloch to Korea. You've never played Kirkintilloch?
We mention it in a song.
Yeah. Well, we maybe should sort that out before you start lying to the audience like a BBC mouthpiece. So yeah, what's made you decide to start a new project called John McMustard and Friends? And you're going straight into the deep end. You've got an Edinburgh Fringe show in August, and you've got the Barras album launch in September. So tell us what's going through your head.
Well, it kind of started a few years ago at Mugstock with a certain Mark McGee inviting me to do a spoken word piece called Golf. That must have read him or told him about at one point, and it got a good reaction. And then I think he invited me to another. In fact, it might have been Mugstock the following year. So that's then it was Burn Supper. So I suppose writing in a different way and exploring, I suppose, another way of writing and doing more spoken word type stuff, but still try to have the musical element. That kind of prompted me to start writing, and I've been writing with Gordy for the Gyro Babies and Colin Hunter on golf, and some of the Dijon Five have been involved in coming in and putting bits and pieces down. But I suppose it takes a lot for a band particularly a band of our size, to get the next thing out. And it's in the pipeline. We actually, amazingly for us, started 5 songs a couple of weeks ago. So the album, the Dijon 5 album's on track, hopefully for a January release next year. But it's that kind of slow thing where you're writing loads of other things, and I just feel as if creatively I want to kind of get these things out there so I can move on, and as much as anything else. But I think they're good enough that, hopefully folk will laugh, and some of them have got, connect with other emotions as well. And also I've got Gordy, as he's your right hand man. He's brilliant. Me and him have just been coming up with loads of good tunes and melodies, and getting into the studio and recording them. It's all happening really quickly. So I suppose that prompted me partly to want to do a nighttime show at the Fringe, because I got offered the daytime show, which is Colonel Mustard and the Big Bad Wolf, which is a theatre thing that I did at the Tron with Natalie McConnon, and it was Andy Arnold that directed it. And then I've got 2 cracking young actors, Anna Martin and Jack Stewart, who are going to be taking some of the other roles. So I'm doing 7 shows of that, and I wrote some new music for that as well, and recorded that. And I think it's almost like an amalgamation of the 2 things, but
is the music, is it overlapping the Big Bad Wolf with your evening show?
I think we've done a couple of nights where it's just been like me, Gordy on guitar, and Roddy Dixon, my brother-in-law that plays in Sambia Bamba. He's been doing a bit of percussion and congas and cajon and stuff like that. So it went down well at the night. We done 2 Sonnet youth nights. We done one at the Clutha. And me and Gordy have been playing quite a few schools in nurseries and stuff like that recently, where it's been going down well. So we've been playing really strange gigs, but getting good reactions everywhere we're going. And it is the songs from the show will probably feature, but I think every night it's going to be slightly different, because I'm going to have different guests. Like the first night I've got Hugh Reid. I've got for Hugh Reid and the Velvet Underpants, I've got Tom Maguire and the Brass Holes doing a kind of stripped back set. I've got good poets like Kat Hepburn the first night. I've got Leila Josephine the second night coming in. I'm going to have Spangle Cabaret doing a takeover one night. Got yourself, Doogie for the Mickey Nines, Spring Break coming in one night. In fact, should we announce that just now? Is it the 8th of August? Aye, 8th of August, the Thursday, 8th of August. Thursday, the 8th of August, it's Doogie for the Mickey Nines, Spring Break. Mark will be doing a bit of spoken word, but what I want to do that night is a compliments rap battle. Becky Wallace is actually going to be there that night as well, so I've got some good comedians and stuff. So I've got load. I kind of, it's that thing because I've now got a chance where I've got a bit of a platform that I just want to explore other artistic avenues, but also try and shine a light on other cracking artists and do something a wee bit different and collaborate with different people. So that's the plan.
Yes, well, I can relate to that. It's when you're in a band, they just try to get everyone to all the parts move at the same time. I mean, that's how I started Jackal Trades. Really, I was just like, right, I just want to. I'm writing all these lyrics. I've got quite a lot of stuff there, and it takes about 3 years to get 10 of those lyrics down. It's quite frustrating, so it's good. But yeah, that's some lineup. So is it the where is it the Fringe show?
So the Colonel Mustard and the Big Bad Wolf, it's like a family friendly show. It's at midday and it's in the Gilded Balloon at Teviot Square, and it's in the debating chamber, which is like a 350 capacity venue that I need to try and sell out 7 times. So please buy a ticket. And then, bring your family. It's tried and tested. It's went down well, and even like there were couples that came along without kids and stuff. And I've tried to do that thing where there's good humour and good songs. And I was thinking like Pixar, where like some of their movies almost appeal more to adults, but it's got that good kind of mixture of comedy and music and all that. But at night time, the show's in the National Museum of Scotland, and that's at 10:30 till midnight for 10 shows. So just 17 shows in Belladrum, Boomtown, Stranraer, and another festival I can't think of in between all that, just to make August an interesting month.
Then you've got a couple of days off, and it's Barra's time.
Aye, pretty much. I'm going to launch the album. It's going to be called Sports Mixture, because it's kind of about my love of different sports that don't get a lot of recognition, and my hatreds of what other sports have became, but with a mixture of that and some Big Bad Wolf songs and a couple other slightly off the cuff spoken word type stuff. So that makes it sound rubbish, but I think folk will be into it.
So so it's the Fringe, and then the Glasgow launch is at the Barrowlands and the 21st of September. So what's your lineup going to be for the Barras? Have you thought about that yet?
I am starting to Gordy, because he's been doing the majority of the writing with me. Roddy will be there. I'll probably try and get a couple of the Dijon, or 2 or 3 of the Dijon 5 horn players to come in. I might have a string player coming in. I think because it's the Barras, it can't just be like the 3-piece thing. I think I need to go, at least 6 or 7 piece and try and get a big sound, because some of the songs are quite rocking. So
I'm thinking that way as well. I'm thinking about maybe even a brass section or a choir or something. Because obviously we played the Barras nearly 2.5 years ago. Maybe no, it's been, I don't know. I can't remember. Yellowlands 2016. No, I think it was 2000 March 2016. So now we're at it's ages ago. It was ages ago. So so we've not actually released that much more new music since then. So, but I definitely don't want to play Who Took Utopia again. So we've got some new tunes in the background. Some hopefully turn it into a new EP thing, or at least mostly new, or just bring back. I'm also tempted to bring back all the old band members and play some of the old tunes. So if you ever have played in the Gyro Babies, then get in touch and we'll maybe get you on the stage at the Barras. And I know this is a weird way to do it, but I really don't. I don't know how I can't remember everyone that's played for us. I know it sounds shocking, but we're talking about nearly we're in the 40s or 50s. And I know that if I start naming people, then I'm going to miss someone and people are going to get offended. So if you're listening to this and you've ever played in the Gyro Babies and you quite fancy playing the Barras in September the 21st, then get in touch. I've not forgotten about you. I have forgotten about you, but I don't want to forget about you. So I come out for that if you want. You call that a radio. And I mean, the thing is that, but one, it is the Barras, so you've got to go that wee extra level. And also, the Barras is one of the things that everybody does want to play. So it's one of the venues where you could actually just get a choir. You could probably just get a choir because people I don't want you to join your fucking band. Oh, it's the Barras, all right, okay, all right then. So, and it's, I mean, how many times so this is going to be the Gyro's third time, and also I played it with Jackal Trades, and I've obviously jumped on stage with you before, but what's this going to be for yourself?
Played it with Colonel Mustard and the Dijon 5 3 times. Played one of the ICW nights just singing DCT into the ring, the International Sex Hero at the Barras. And I think this will be my 5th time singing in the Barras. Aye, 5th. So, be interesting because it's obviously the Dijon 5, they're the part without blowing our own trumpet, but it's a big party, so it's going to be, I'm going to need to do something a bit different, but also I know people will want to still have a wee dance and a laugh and all that, so I need to get the balance right. But I've got 10 shows at Edinburgh to hopefully get that all nailed.
I mean, obviously you get, you've done millions of festival headliners, played Korea, and but do you know, I don't know if you get any hate, but like, I think, I mean, I don't know if you're deleting all the comments. I don't see much hate, but I think you deserve more hate than you get, and I say that out of love.
We do. You get the odd troll, but I think when the trolls come, I find it quite funny, and it's always an indicator of success, I think. But I suppose when it gets personal and stuff like that, it's not nice, but it's quite good going, right, well, let's have a conversation. What's your opinion? And then a lot of the time they just shut up because it's just, keyboard warriors. But you're right, we probably do get more like kind of hatred, but people just in general going, the usual, they're like a singing kettle. Like, we always get that, but I take that as a compliment. So even that hate, I turn into a positive. Do you know?
I mean, I've heard one or two people say singing kettle, but I mean, it's literally only been about two or three people ever that have actually really shown, sort of sounded like they hated you, to me anyway, you know what I mean? But maybe they think that I'm in the band, or they've maybe seen me on stage and well, he's the most important member of that band, which is sometimes my 30 seconds coming on there is an important part.
The thing is, if I was a young guy, 21 and quite serious and a serious rock and roll band, which I was at that age, I would probably hate us. But that's just the level of maturity, I suppose, sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I think that when people, when I have actually, when I've heard someone saying something before I went, I've usually responded by, have you seen them live? And they've usually just said, no. Apart from one guy who said, aye. But he was quite a miserable bastard. And he probably knows who he is if he's listening, but you know what I mean? Just some people, I get why people do it anyway. It's like, for me, I can understand the you know, I mean, I don't particularly listen to the music myself, the actual CD or anything. But I've seen you so many times live. But every time, you waking up with a hangover at a festival, going, "Oh, here we go again," and then within a couple of tunes, I'm in stitches, laughing, dancing about, nodding again. So I think that there's nobody that can really fuck with the fact that these are one of the best live bands in Scotland, and it's also. So it's going to be interesting to see what you're doing this new one as well, because I think once you've got a formula that works for Colin Mustard, so to change that up now, it is quite difficult. So it's good to be able to start again, start afresh, and without upsetting anyone. And so you've got, and also there's going to be loads of your fans will be interested to see you do something a bit different, I think, as well.
Hopefully, I think ultimately it is a side project, and it's important. It's important from an artistic point of view, and I think there will be tunes that, because already when I'm playing it to folk, like we've got a tune called The Wrestler that's like, it's almost like a heavy metal riff, but it's aye. And then we've got other things that are a bit more dancey, so it's got the variety that hopefully folk will get into it. But it's aye, the band, the Dijon 5 are still my priority. All right, guys. I don't hate yous. I love yous.
Is it going to? Do you think there's going to be band members pissed off that they're not playing the bars?
I might. You might have touched a nerve there, Mark. I think ultimately it's everybody wants to play the bars, don't they? And it's one of the bit of Asian Dub Foundation there.
I'm just going to. You just tell us me.
Right. Okay. Right.
So I'm just going to get the listeners' questions up while you.
Aye.
So what does the bars mean? For someone who's we've got listeners in France and Germany that have never maybe been to the bars.
The Barras is for me anyway, the best music venue in the world. It's just got the perfect sound, atmosphere. It's a mad building with big neon lights, with stars, and it's got something just unique and an atmosphere, a quality that when the crowd are involved in getting into it, it's it's just electric. It's almost something you can touch. That's how good the atmosphere can get in there. When 1994, got to see Oasis when I was 16. I bought a fake ID and a ticket off my mate's big brother at high school, Mick McNamee's big brother Gav, and basically me and three of my mates went, and Oasis are at that point, I'd only really been into the Beatles for years and years, got into the Doors a wee bit, and then moved from Muirhead to Moodiesburn, and my brother-in-law Roddy, he was a pal at school, and him and his pals ended up hanging about with them, and they got us into like all the music I still love within the space of about a month. It was a life changer, and I happened to hear Oasis at a party at like 7 a.m, and the song Live Forever came on, and like that week at school it was like, oh, have you heard the Oasis, my big brothers? And I'm like, can I buy a ticket, £20? And you got a fake ID with it, and we went in, the bouncers were like, good fake ID lads, but on you go. They let us in, and we went in, and it was life changing. Oasis, I've got a love-hate relationship with them at times because, that kind of laddie arrogance, it's maybe at times went a bit far, and I think they both probably admit this in interviews a lot of the time. They did lose their way. Noel's probably making the music that they should have been making by their third album now. But at that point in time, like, they were untouchable. They were just, and it was before you got like crowds of, folk that want to fight coming to watch them. It was a time where they were just, up and coming and just starting to take over the world, and it was brilliant.
I've got some listeners' questions for me here. So, normally I'd answer the questions, but since you're here, they're directed at you anyway. I don't think there's any for me. So I'm just going to go through a couple of them. So, Raymond, check out Photography by Mundito. Raymond says, as stated, he gets his banter from Stephen Fry via QI. Is that still the same case, or has he now got another avenue for banter now that Sandy Toksvig is in charge?
Well, I remember Sandy Talks Vig Fair number 73 days, which was a kids' TV programme back in the day that also had Neil Buchanan. And I've very much always been influenced by the guys patter-wise, even from that young, impressionable age. But no, my banter, the best banter comes out when we're on the road or when we're at a festival. And even on the way up in the train from Manchester, we met these young guys a wee guy who had a bottle of Echo Falls, and it started a thing, hashtag Echo, hashtag Falls, hashtag Guy. And for some reason, we all just found the hashtag Guy the best hashtag ever, like just hashtag Guy. So, and then things like How Many Many's, that came about just at Eden Festival. These things pop into your head when you're in weird and wonderful places. But banter-wise, I love watching loads of stand-up comedy, but I think the best stuff comes for your mates. They kind of in-jokes, and the band have got quite a lot of them, do you know. Well, for all, we have our moments with each other, but we have some of the best times as well where, do you know, the banter just flows, so aye.
Just one point about Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry follows the Gyro Babies on Twitter, and he has done for many years, and which is quite impressive. I was told, because he's got millions and millions, and he doesn't follow that many, considering. So when you brought out that song that said you get all your banner from Stephen Fry via QI, I sent him a private message because I've got an into him, because obviously he follows me. So I sent him a private message for Gay Icon, the song. Dinged. Just dinged it.
Unfollow you though?
No, he still follows me.
Well, that's all right.
I think it's just.
It was maybe his team, because he's got a team. But with Stephen Fry, see when he posts something, he gets, everybody will hit your website. So you need to have like a really well supported website and stuff like that. Like, it's different. Nah, I couldn't handle the fry up.
The fry lash.
The fry gemonium.
The fry jerk reaction. So what Pete Mullen says, why yellow?
Well, it's the colour of mustard, really, isn't it? And the colour of the sun, and it's a happy coincidence, but I would never, even when Colonel Mustard started, we used to do different themes where we'd do an army theme or a sports theme, but then one day it was like, right, will we fork out, you know, a few £100 on yellow suits, which we did, and I don't know, there's something about that colour that's just happy, and it kind of suits the band. So,
Mark McCowan says, what's Colin Syme like in real life?
Colin is an enigma. He works everywhere you go. Do you know, they'll be having issues with the backline. Colin's in there with a screwdriver. There's maybe a guy needing chucked out. Security aren't handling it. Colin's in there. Collecting glasses. Do you know what I mean?
I love Colin Syme to bits. He has his sound in real life as his persona is. But he does work a lot. Although what ironically I've found is he's working a lot less since he's got actually working. So since he's had a real job, you know, I don't see the rucksack of magic tricks that used to have, like a screwdriver or a spare. He's always got a spare plectrum. He's not went that bad, but you know, I just think that maybe someone like Colin shouldn't have to do a real job. I think it should be some sort of universal basic income. Maybe not for everyone. I know there's financial arguments for and against, but surely we can make the argument that Colin Syme just gets a standard monthly wage just to walk about with a screwdriver and a plectrum.
I completely agree. I preferred them when he wasn't working. When he was working everywhere else other than a real job, aye. Big Colin's brilliant. So aye, he was on good form at the weekend there.
Cool. Yep. So that's Colin Syme in real life. John Gillis. Shouts to John Gillis. He says, my wife and I like to take a wee break in Europe every year. Being in holiday mode, we frequently dance across the street singing Cross the Road. Most of the lyrics involve red men and green men and are still valid, but we feel the line, look left, look right, look left again, is surely going to lead to our early demise one of these days. Does the Colonel not feel it's his moral and social responsibility to bring out a more Europe-friendly version instead of pandering to the likes of Farage and Johnson with a parochial UK-centric version currently available?
Do you know what? We have considered it. We have considered the look right, look left, look right again, but it just doesn't flow lyrically. So if that leads to deaths throughout the continent, then I'm afraid that's just the way it's got to be.
And is as long as the UK children are safe, is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying, Mark. That's exactly not what I'm saying. Well, that's kind of what I said, but I said it in a joking manner. No, well, but maybe we need to bring Cross the Road out in different languages. Maybe that's where we need to go, because we are European.
I thought, you're international as well. I mean, you've made a song in Korean, which was Peace, Love, Mustard. You changed to...
Korea and Korean. We brought that out with just a YouTube video that Martin Mundybank made. Belladrum posted it, and my favourite bit's at the end, because we've got in Korea the guy singing Peace, Love, Hanguk with us, and then in Belladrum and at Edenfest and stuff like that, the British in Lindisfarne as well, the Scottish and English crowd singing Peace, Love, Korea. It was just a nice moment.
I was lucky enough to go to South Korea with the Twistettes last year before, and it's a brilliant place, man. I think you could, very friendly, very, well, where we were, it was quite futuristic as well. I mean, it was much better Wi-Fi and, just a forward-thinking technological place with happy people, late-night bars. Just, I loved it. I actually loved it. I didn't know what I was eating most of the time, because it was in everything's in Korean, which kind of makes it exciting, because when you go to France or Spain or Germany, you can usually guess by looking at a menu what the words roughly mean. But in Korea, with the symbolism, I don't know, not the symbolism, but you know what I mean? It's in symbols. It's like Prince's name after he changed his name. Everything is.
It's in Korean. Oh. I think, Hanguk, but I don't know how you would actually pronounce the language. But I know what you're saying though, and it was great. There was one day we were all hungover, and I managed to order something brilliant. That's really spicy. It was like fried chicken, which they're right into their fried chicken, because the Americans kind of took that over when the Korean War was happening, so fried chicken's a big thing. But one of the guys ordered cold black noodles on with ice cubes on top, with a slush puppy of soy sauce. And apparently that's a big dish over there. It's like a traditional. But I was so glad of my choice that day.
Yeah, it was good though. Like I was lucky with most of the food, but just it'd be good to know just what it was, just so you could order it again or something. But yeah, big up South Korea, and also it's worth mentioning that you did bring. There's it's been quite an unstable region for many decades, but apparently the way I remember it is, I think it was David Blair told me that you brought peace to the Korean nations.
We brought a good soundtrack to a good festival at the DMZ, but I think in all seriousness, all the wee things they're doing, like getting North Korean artists over to play festivals and all that, it's all good. And if it's coming from, like, music culture and the kind of the power of music, that's good. But no, we were a small cog in the peace process.
But an important cog nonetheless in bringing world peace to the region. So, Che, regional peace. Okay, Che Woodman, who is John McMustard? The Dijon background is one clouded within a haze of yellow mystery. Can he explain how it came together into something that would traverse the waking planet? If it can be asked to Fairfox.
Good question, Shane. I did read this one today, and it's I would need to go into a lot of detail. Who is John McMustard? Sometimes I don't know who John McMustard is. Is he my alter ego? I don't know anymore. I think I'm John McMustard, and John McAlinden's became John McMustard. But I'm just a big yellow guy who likes to have good times and likes other people to get on and have good times. And ultimately, that's what the music of the Dijon Five's all about. And that's as simple as I can put it.
Do you think it makes it's quite an interesting one about the alter egos? Because obviously, when you're in a few different bands and you've got a few different personas and stuff, it gets a bit confusing. So, does it make more sense for you to be John McMustard? The new John McMustard and Friends is going to be basically the same kind of disco ball guy that you were in the other one, or are you going to change it up? And also, do you have to take your John McMustard persona to your day job at work just to make things easier?
No, I can't. Well, I'm a psychiatric nurse by day, so if I turn up as John McMustard, then it's it's going to raise a few eyebrows, but it might well go down well, but it's certainly not standard. It's not standard uniform. Aye, but what was the question again?
Yeah, so you've answered that. You wouldn't take the disco ball hat to your day job.
I wouldn't. Oh, aye. The other part was, for the kind of solo gigs? Am I going to do the Colonel Mustard disco ball thing? I don't know, but I probably need to mix that up a wee bit as well. But I don't have much time. I think. Well, do you know what? At night time at the Fringe, folk are looking for a late night sexy disco party, so that's what I need to provide ultimately.
And you can't have a late night sexy disco party without a disco ball in your head. What about the ABC disco ball? What's happening with that? I thought you would have been in there crowdfunding I don't know, like that disco ball.
I don't know what that's one of the great mysteries of that. Is the disco ball still there? I think that's ultimately culturally that's the most important destruction between there and the art school, that disco ball. I would love to be able to try and put it on my head.
Yeah, it's great. I think that's answered that. Alex Doherty said, if his name is John McMustard, wouldn't that make him Colonel McMustard and not Colonel Mustard? Mark McGee wouldn't become Sergeant Gee.
I quite like Sergeant Gee. I think you should call yourself that.
I think that's a Korean dish. Aye. So Dino McInnes says, does he know which Canadian province produces most of the world's mustard seed?
I read this earlier on and I've forgotten what you said. It begins with an S.
Saskatchewan.
Is that where the Sasquatch's from?
Saskatchewan, it sounds a bit like it. And also, does he know of any recent things that the Saxons wouldn't say?
The Saxons wouldn't be using abbreviations like LOL. The Saxons wouldn't be using hashtags like hashtag echo, hashtag false, hashtag guy. They certainly would not be on their iPhones or in.
Would Nokia 3310s, perhaps?
I think some of them would probably, they would have to.
Saxons have got to stay in touch with other Saxons.
They do. No, the Saxons, there's a lot of things the Saxons wouldn't say.
We've got a question. Mark Lindsay says, is McMustard legit your surname? Which Dino McInnes has responded with, do you work for the Inland Revenue?
Yes, it's my surname.
Claire Blatchford has given us a 3-in-1 question, which is, okay, we'll do it one at a time. How much Buckfast did it take to get the album made?
Buckfast's one of the main hindrances of this second album getting made, but we're getting there. Do you know the main thing that's kind of holding it up is we've all got families and we're all busy people with other jobs and stuff like that, and live music's our thing. So we've just been playing live for ages, but we know it's hit that point when the Stone Roses have split up and still made an album in the time it's taken you to make an album when you're still together. you've got to take a look in the mirror, and that's what we're doing. But rest assured, the guy.
Don't spend too long in the mirror. Maybe that's where you're going wrong. Just staring in the mirror all that time. It's just, but it's a tough balance. So you've obviously, everyone's got to work to stay alive because it's hard to make money off of music. So you've got to do that. Family, you've got to have time for your friends. You've got to have your own social life. You've got to go and do stuff. And also you're playing live all the time, which is pretty much taking up all your weekends. So how do you get that perfect balance?
It's definitely not a perfect balance, but creatively, all the guys are doing brilliant stuff. Like there's more writers in the band than ever before. Don't worry, it's coming together, people.
Is it still going to be called The Difficult Number 2?
Working title, The Difficult Number 2. I can't really shake The Difficult Number 2, to be honest with you.
It's a really good name and a really bad name at the same time. Sometimes you're like, you can't call it that. And I'm like, actually, it's just like the B sharps. It's for the Simpsons or the Gyro Babies. You want something that's initially quite funny and then really annoys you after it. Claire also asks, how much is the maximum? Oh no, so that's Kevin. Sorry, Claire says, will he bring the Mr. Disco Ball suit to my next birthday party?
It depends what day it is and where you live, and if I'm busy that weekend or not.
So there's a few caveats, but I think it's a yes in general. Claire also, final question for Claire, says, what's his junkie breakfast?
Well, Junkie Breakfast is one of our most controversial songs, but it really just came from a conversation that when we were due to have our first baby scan for our oldest boy, wee John, at that point, it was in my, I don't actually eat chocolate anymore, but it was in my pre-cocoa industry boycotting days, and it was first thing in the morning, and I bought like a cup of hot chocolate, packet of crisps, and a bar of chocolate, and started eating it at like 8:30 in the morning. And Donna turned round because we were in a waiting room full of people at the Royal and went, "What are you doing? That's a pure junkie breakfast." Same as when I tried to put Live Forever on when Evie was being born, and she's like, the midwives are going to think we're junkies. I know it's not a good word, do you know, like, but I think within the song we're aware we all have our addiction issues in life at times, and but equally it's quite funny, isn't it?
Well, no, I never found that one funny, as you know. I remember actually we had an argument on stage at the art school about the whole entire word of the song, and then I went out for a fag after. There's a social worker going, "You're quite right, son. You're quite right." I don't. It just makes me cringe when I hear the junkie word. It just makes me cringe. And there's certain contexts where it's all right, but you know what I mean. Like for example, Lemmy can Jacqueline McCaffrey, that he can get away with it. That's comedy. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't think you can get away with it. Well, it's just the way that everyone sings along to it and stuff. I just don't particularly like it, but I'm not offended. But I just think it just makes me just cringe a wee bit. You know what I mean? I just don't like the word junkie. But that's just my personal opinion. Who gives a fuck what I think?
No, it's a valid point, and I quite like the song because it's controversial and there's different opinions on it. But ultimately, everything and everybody deserves to be satirised. And I've got friends that have been heroin addicts. Do you know what I mean? It's like yes, and it's definitely not done to be offensive, but I think it's important that you have to have a sense of humour about everything and anything.
I mean, the Whitman bit is funny. I'll give you that. There is funny bits to it. I just don't personally like it. Well, the reason I didn't like it was they were wanting to put me on. You want me to do a verse on the song for the album, and I was like, no. And then you've ended up. It's just me talking it's me talking about the song. It's been sampled.
That's the good bit about it. You're the kind of you're almost like the Jiminy Cricket of the song at the start.
I don't really like it though because it's like I'm the one. I don't particularly like being the voice of reason. Two, it's me defending what you're about to say, which I don't actually agree with in any level. And three, that was actually my first ever vinyl appearance. Actually, I think that came out just before Who Took Utopia, so it's technically my first ever vinyl appearance is me defending a song I think is indefensible. In some weird way, it happened. And also, what I find interesting about that story that you just told me is that you'll happily walk in and do stuff for the BBC, but you'll boycott a dime bar or like a dairy milk, so you'll boycott chocolate, but not the BBC.
You don't know about do you know about the cocoa industry, Mark? It's much more evil than the BBC.
Right, okay. All chocolate, every single chocolate.
There's the odd bit of chocolate that's all right. No, 60% of where we get our cocoa from is harvested in Africa, and there's basically kids kidnapped to be taken in to harvest that. I watched the documentary and immediately I haven't ate chocolate for nearly, must be about 7-8 years. Donna had a dairy milk to console herself.
Yeah. So like, there's you don't eat chocolate at all. You would never eat chocolate again.
If I eat it by accident,
Yeah. I think you did. I think you did accidentally eat it by accident. I think it was a cappuccino, maybe.
Aye. It's happened a few times, but it's that thing. But if you step in an ant by accident, it doesn't count.
This is a good question. It's kind of relatable to what you're saying. So the other day, I accidentally bought eggs, but not the happy free range. The guys that get to run about. It was I think it was the bad ones. Now I'm in a bad situation here now. What did I do? You can't just throw the eggs out because that's surely worse. What did I do?
If when you bought them you didn't know, then I think make them and eat them.
Yeah, out of respect to the chicken that laid them.
Well, just it's more you don't want to waste something that you know, and if you're hungry.
That's cool. So that's good. Thanks for giving me the moral high ground because I was feeling really bad about that before. Okay, so John McCrory said, if colour made a noise, what would yellow sound like? And also, would either of you consider a bath in mustard? Well, do you know what? I normally a bath in mustard would not be my thing, but I came back with some really bad sunstroke from Eden Festival, and I think that maybe a cold bath in mustard might have sorted me out. So, but I'll pass the first question on to you, which is, if colour made a noise, what would yellow sound like? And would you consider a bath in mustard?
I would like to see you going in it first with your sunburn. And if you came out unscathed, then I would.
I think it'd be quite a cooling initially, but I think it would start to spice up pretty quickly and maybe irritate the skin more than anything. But that is actually a good idea. You've got to sell fringe tickets, and maybe that is a promo idea where you just get in a bath of mustard to raise a profile, give some money to charity, give some money to the chocolate junkies that you love, and equally humiliate. And so, moving on, Murray Easton is a new album in the pipeline. How does he feel on stage when the whole crazy concept is coming together and band and audience are one? Is it magical to experience?
It's the best. It's the best feeling ever. Just when the band are playing at their ultimate and the audience are it just feels like one. And there's hard to think of a better feeling. What was the first part of that question? Album is in the pipeline. The boys are working hard in the studio every Thursday night, and they're writing new stuff. So boys and girls. So it's going to be good.
So speaking of what is actually, before I forget, we've been asking everybody that so far. So let's start, because you were just talking about it's a magical experience. Tell us your best gig and then your worst gig, or even just a bad gig.
Probably the best gigs are maybe some of the wee ones when you're first starting out, but then getting to play the bar is obviously that was dream come true stuff. But the first time I played it, because I was so nervous, I probably had too much to drink. And then the second time I stayed completely sober and still didn't remember any of it. So that third Barras gig was probably the best of the three, because I wasn't as nervous because you'd done it a couple of times. Playing Belladrum main stage the last couple of years to crowds of nearly 10,000, I think was estimated at the last one. Aye, we're the main stage again Saturday afternoon. Oh, cool. Nice one. Saturday afternoon, aye, in the main stage. And the weirdest gig I've done recently, we done a gig where it was to 5th years going into 6th year at a high school in East Kilbride, and the venue got moved to like a chapel. So I was on the altar with the disco ball hat on, like directing the kids at 5th year across the road, and most of them were hating it, but some of them you could tell were loving it but hating it.
Yeah.
But
It's not the age you want to be doing that stuff.
aye,
It's quite embarrassing.
it was, but the fact was they were all doing it, so it was good. But it was quite good because a lot of them had taken selfies and all that and pictures, and so their mums and dads who are fans of the band were like, "Oh, my kid was there the day," so there was a bit of that going on, and we played a new solo song called "You'll Simply Never Walk Alone the Best," which is an anti-bigotry song, and it's going to be the controversial one, I think, on the solo album, because it takes the mickey out of both sides of the old firm who are bigots, and because bigots are bigots regardless of what side they believe they're on. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how that goes down.
I've not heard it. I don't think I've heard it. Gordy did play me a couple of demos a couple of weeks ago, but it's all sounding good. But I think poking a stick at Celtic and Rangers fans is guy. Good luck with that, mate. Good luck. Actually, I want a worse gig. I don't think that was a worse gig. I don't think I answered that. I want an actual toe curling, horrible experience, or just something that went terribly wrong. I want a bad gig. It must have been one.
With the Dijon 5 or just in general? I don't know. Well, when Gary, my cousin, it's not quite Gallagher brothers, we do get on fairly well, but it is the cousinly love type thing where occasionally that sort of "you stole my Lego when we were 7" stuff comes up, and he was in charge of buying the rider for the ABC, not the ABC, sorry, the O2 Academy gig, or Carlin Academy, or whatever it's called, over on the south side, and he bought like just 4 cases of Buckfast, so I think he'd already drank quite a few bottles probably before he went on, and it was the one where David, the DJancer, he was meant to go on the wee kind of Segway thing, like hoverboard type thing. Yeah, but aye, you know what I mean. But I kind of seem to be able to go it a bit better, so I went, right, well, I'll go on it then. And Gary did try and boot me off a couple of times on the stage, so that was a kind of near death one. There's been a few moments, but that was still quite a good gig. I'll try and think of one. There has been.
Try and find this one. I mean, I think all your gigs.
We played in Kilsyth. The last time we ever played to a crowd smaller than us was just folk from my work who they've always been a great support. We're there, but nobody else, maybe 1 or 2 other folk. In the band, we had a 5-piece horn section that night. In the band there was like 17 of us and maybe like 15 people in the place. But again, it was still a good gig. But it was an interesting one when you outnumber the crowd. It's been a while, but it's quite good playing some wee gigs again because you have to think on your feet more and still play. Actually, Liverpool Sound City, when we opened the main stage, we'd had a great gig the year before, and we opened the main stage, but security hadn't let them. They hadn't opened the gates, so we played to like. You can see a video if you look for it on YouTube. There's like 15 people, and we played to aye. And we felt, that's going to be a big moment for us because we've earned getting on this main stage, and then the gates aren't open, so you're playing to nobody. But then it turned out one of the guys books for Boomtown and one of the guys books for Korea that were actually in the audience. So both of them worked out well.
Yeah, so it's a good bit of advice for any aspiring artists. You never know who's in the crowd. It's an old saying, but it's very true as well. Yeah, and there was. Well, the only time I've seen you struggle a bit was Jock and Doris Festival.
Is that the one you were fishing for? Aye.
I just ask everyone the question. I just didn't think you were giving me a proper answer.
Right, aye, that was a bad gig. Although some of the crowd seemed into it, but no, we ended up, I think a lot of the guys had just overdone it and our stage time was getting pushed back. Probably because of you.
It was actually something to do with me. I can't remember exactly why, but I was the stage manager, so it was. But I think I swapped you around because it was running a bit late, and some people had to get the last ferry, and you were like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll go in later," and everything. So it was all agreed in advance. But I think because it's the first festival of the year, it was such a sunny day, and it's such a beautiful place. There's a ferry in it. Everyone was having a good time, and I mean, you were fine. Like there was a security woman whose face had been tripping her all night, and she loved you. She thought it was the best thing that she'd ever seen, and everything was fine. The only time but I just noticed the things were getting a wee bit other when. I noticed we were doing bouncy ball, and I had my first bit of food of the day. I went and sat down, had a wee burger at the backstage, but came back out 10 minutes later, and you're still no, it's dance off. Sorry, you're still doing dance off for like 12 minutes, and I went, man, just to let you know, because with 3 more acts on. I went, man, you just to let you know, you've only got about 10 minutes left, and you're like, are you telling me how to run my gig, Mark? And I just laughed and walked away and left you to it. I don't think Nico was as impressed with you. I thought it was quite funny though.
I think there was only actual 3 members of the band, like maybe 13 years that made it over there that were on stage. We had we had folk for other bands standing in because some of the guys had overdone it. I think 2 of the guys had fell out and one of them tried to escape on a mountain bike, and it was there was.
I'm away here, there's no home, the ferries are off.
It's always the first festival of the summer you overdo it. But I can't do that this year because I've got too many things to do this year.
Yeah. Well, it's that was in the old days, younger days. We're all mature now, so that would never happen.
The ramifications of Sealgate that day.
Yeah, Sealgate. We couldn't have a podcast without mentioning Sealgate briefly. We'll do a special on it one day, but today's not the day. But we do hope to have Jock and Doris back in time for 2020, so keep an eye out for that. We've got just a couple quick more questions. Kevin Pearson, how much is the maximum he would pay for a Freddo?
I wouldn't pay for one, Kevin. You know I don't eat chocolate.
Does he actually know that and he still has that? No. Yep.
Definitely told them that at some point.
John Walker, how many Mennies are an adequate amount of Mennies in this current financial climate?
Too many Mennies.
And who else we got here? Yeah, I think, Mary Yaram says, how does he find the audience is made up of children mostly at his family shows? Are the audiences appreciative?
Kids' audiences, in some ways, they don't have the same, I suppose. They're not in their heads as much as adults. So if you're playing a good show, like that high school show was different the other week because that's kids that are in majorly. That's the time you're most in your head, I think. But some of them were into it. But we played like a nursery the other week, and they were all. You had to scrape them off the ceiling on the way out. They were absolutely loving it. We done an after-school club recently where we had them playing Kirby and crossing the road, and the kids' audiences are wild, and it's the only time where it feels a bit like being in one direction or something. Because by the time you're leaving, they're all it's like crazy. But the kids' theatre show, The Big Bad Wolf, it's kind of. It's a mixture, but it seems to be getting a good reaction from adults and kids.
That's what I meant by Simpsons humour. Is just that you obviously when you watch the Simpsons when you're a child, you like it, and then when you watch when you're a wee bit older, you realise that they're sneaking in some adult jokes there that they kind of go over the radar, so everyone can do it. 'Cause, I mean, that's probably the most the biggest thing about Colonel Mustard is the age range is actual all ages, and there's people in their 70s dancing about, potentially mad with it, having a second win in their retirement.
Possibly, I don't know. I can't speak for the old age pensioner community.
Then it's kids and old people. So I think what's quite good about the yellow movement thing is that it did bring people that were maybe, like I said, especially the older people that I think that had a second wind. That maybe they've just maybe been out the game for so long, maybe raising their kids or whatever, and they've just not really felt a connection with their music. And then with the yellow movement, it just sort of, I think the colour just makes everyone. I think there's a famous quote: "Pick a colour and run with it." And obviously, I think there was lots of people involved in making the yellow movement community work as a whole. But I think it's really quite inspiring to see just people that haven't been out in the live music scene for ages coming together and actually feel, it's a safe environment, it's a fun environment, and yeah.
Aye, that's what it's all about, and it's great when you see different generations of families coming along, and you're the band or the Yellow Movement collectively, or what they're along to see, and it's good as well because I think you get stuck in your own generation. Usually, when you're a teenager, what music you're listening to, and a lot of people go, "I know that all the other music's rubbish," and it's like there's a lot of brilliant music that's just not breaking through. But up in Scotland, and it was something the Moods, going back to them in Manchester, were saying, like, up in Scotland, you guys, the Gyro Babies, Mickey Nines, yous are all getting quite big, but you're just not mainstream, so people down here don't know about it. And so I going back to the original question, like it's a total joy to see all ages coming along and getting involved, because it's just a big positive experience and somewhere for people to be happy and for families to have a good time together.
Soapy, hello Soapy. He says, did the Colonel ever think of other condiments, or was it always going to be mustard? Colonel pairings in the Worcester sauce 5?
It's a good option. Bombardier brown sauce has been put forward before. I quite like that. No, it was the name was kind of given to me down at Glastonbury Festival. I think it was 2008 maybe, and I just that was the moment. I just thought, aye, that's my next band. Aye, my pal went, "What do you think of this as a band name?" And I went, "That's brilliant." And at that point, I didn't. It was maybe another year, 2 years before we put things together.
I did the Gyro Babies name for many years before I started the band. Aye, sometimes it happens like that. Gary Ward, does he have a favourite smell?
Smell or smile? Yeah. Let me have a think. I've got several favourite smells. I'm trying to think what. Talking about food, I quite like the smell of a roast dinner on a Sunday afternoon. I like the smell of a rose on a Wednesday evening. That's as good as I can do in that question.
The smell of a hashtag Echo Falls and a hashtag Train Journey?
Aye, well, hashtag all red wine. That's my pal Jimmy always says this. All red wine tastes of mushrooms. So when when the Echo Falls guy was drinking, I gave him some of my Casillo Diablo, and we were just kind of having a laugh about that, where I was acting as if I was a total connoisseur, going, it means Castle of the Devil. And I went, "Look, taste that. Does it taste of mushrooms?" And he's like, "Aye, that's what it tastes of."
Johnny Cypher. It's really inspiring as an artist to see someone always trying to support a good cause and help out people at almost every opportunity. What motivates you in the morning, and have you ever burnt out?
Been close to maybe burning out a few times, but I think you just need to keep going. it's usually after a rough weekend, you're like, oh, what am I doing? And is this the right thing? And blah, blah, blah. But I think, like, Johnny is one of the guys that I think's an absolute legend of the scene and going out his way to help different causes more than most people, more than anybody that I'm seeing in the music scene in Glasgow now. But aye, it's just the motivation is it's a short life, isn't it? So you need to have as good a time as possible, but you also want to have a life where you're looking out for people and caring for people. And I suppose if you've always got that at the back of your mind and you can have a bit of fun along the way, then you're going to keep going.
Yeah, John, I'd agree with. I'll just echo that. Johnny Cypher is doing loads. He's making lots of moves. So, yeah, you will feel you're burnt out when you're doing all that stuff. And yeah, I felt close to burnt out a few times.
It's the pressure when now I'm getting like emails because I'm having to deal with like actors, agents, emails for the guys at the Fringe, and then I'm foolishly putting on 2 shows, and a lot of the time you do it to yourself and you maybe need to go, right, can I handle this? And there's times where in your head you're like, I'm not handling this, and that's the time you need to speak to your partner or your best pal or your family and go, right, what? And a lot of the time it's just having that conversation and they're like, no, you can do this.
Well, that's a good point. Is that I've not been brilliant at it over the years, but you can delegate these things if you actually just ask a few folk. If you ask for help, people. Especially you, Johnny. There's loads of people that would do it there that would give you a hand. I'm not very good at delegating stuff myself. Also, but what I would maybe say is what is good as well is you need to switch off at some point. So you know that for example, when I was in lead up to Independence campaign or the lead up to the Jackal Trades first album, I was so involved in doing the satire, spoken word scene, reading all the newspapers, watching all the news, that I had to just take a break for that, and maybe take a month off, or maybe just take off a day a week where you just don't even look at a newspaper.
I definitely, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I definitely don't watch as much. I used to watch 24-hour news channels. I'll still read a newspaper if it's sitting about, but I certainly would never buy a newspaper. But I like to kind of know what's going on, but all the news you're getting is usually bad when you look around and outside, it's where we are anyway, things aren't that bad. And it's good to have a global outlook on things and to be, try to make things better in your own community and throughout the world. But sometimes if that's going to be at the expense of your own health, it is a good thing to, take a wee step back and just do what's right for you for a bit. Sometimes you do need to be a wee bit selfish, but
Aye, it's not being selfish. Just making sure you're okay, because you're a burnt out person's not going to be able to help anyone either. So you just need to look after yourself and make sure you're replenished and you're energized, and then you can help more people and do more good moves. But just don't get burnt out. Well, like
I think what we both kind of said there, having that conversation with other people's important. And even I'm the same as you, Mark, where I'm the one that will maybe finds it hard to delegate, and you maybe find yourself having to be the strong one in your kind of situation or group of pals or whatever. And sometimes that's just your nature as well. But it's important to know your good and bad sides, and try and play to your strengths as much as possible when it comes to stuff like that.
And then we're actually doing the Barras gig for Help Musicians Help Musicians Scotland, and yeah. So there's going to be a donation from each ticket, and also we're also just raising awareness of. Is it the Mind Matters Musicians Helpline? Is that what it's called? Go into the Barras Fest event page. David Blair corrected me because I got it wrong last time, so I'm trying to get it right. So I think it's, in fact, I'll just go and I'll just tell you. But for any musicians out there, there's actually a new phone number that you can phone, and they're designed specifically to help people in the music industry, which I think is an absolutely brilliant idea, because sometimes someone with a bit of knowledge about the music scene sometimes when you're just panicking about, if you're trying to promote a million gigs or play a million gigs, sometimes you just need someone that's actually got experience in that to go, hey, it's all right, print some flyers. Just print some flyers and you'll be fine. Or
Do you know what was good for me recently? I'm a member of the Musicians Union, and they had just a wee day where you go in for like half an hour or an hour, and you've got a wee one-to-one session, and a lot of it was just the women going, "No, you're fine, everything's okay, you're doing the right thing," and I'm going, "But I need to sell 4,000 tickets," and she's going, "No, you just need to sell out. You just need to aim to sell out your first night, and the rest of them will, take care of themselves," type thing. And it was like, aye. See, if you sometimes you create mountains for yourself, and we all do it. We're all guilty of it. But it's even just having somebody to talk to. But as well as the kind of musicians helpline, there's community mental health teams and crisis teams and stuff like that. If things for people are ever that bad that and they don't have someone to talk to, or someone that they can kind of vent to. But half the time when you get talking to people, it's problems. We've all got them. Do you know what I mean? And it's just sharing that and being able to have a conversation's the most important thing.
yeah, I think so, and I think that's why it also obviously that excludes people that aren't musicians, that phone number, but there's other phone numbers out there for people. So just do speak to someone. Just sort of touching on that, I don't want to mention any names just because I know there's been a few people in our communities have passed away, which it seems very likely that it was mental health issues. Actually, 3 people in the last week that I know of. So it's something that we need to talk more about. And is there any sort of just general, obviously as a psychiatric nurse, John, coming from a professional point of view, is there things that people should be doing just to make sure they are all right? Exercise, that kind of thing?
Aye, all the things that you probably people usually know themselves where their problems lie and what the good things are, but it's just getting that motivation to do it. But eating well, eating nutritious food that's going to actually be good for your body and mind, exercising, something I don't do a lot of, jumping about at gigs maybe, but obviously that's releasing endorphins and it's a good thing. But I think the main thing is just try to have a well balanced life and enjoying yourself, getting out, listening to music, and if things are bad, there's community mental health teams in every single area in Scotland, and it's something the Scottish Government are big at promoting, and there's more and more mental health charities out there. But a big thing, a lot of people who maybe feel suicidal after it, after they've maybe had an attempt, they don't feel that way anymore. The majority of people I've met that have been in that situation. So it's important to remember that feelings pass, and something that seems extreme and like life or death and a moment in your life, like for a lot of the young teenagers at that school in East Kilbride, that's what I was trying to say to them, like things that seem so important, like I'll maybe see guys that have, fell out with their girlfriend or whatever, and it's 20 years later and they've still got, marks from, but they don't have that same feeling, things pass, things move on, and just talk to your family and know that things will get better, and there's help out there if you don't have someone to talk to.
And just to confirm, that was the phone number for any musicians out there is Music Minds Matter, which is a mental health support line and service for the music industry. The phone number is 0808 802 8008, and that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're going to be promoting that in the lead up to the Barrowlands gig, September the 21st, and that's Gyro Babies, John McMustard and Friends, Mungo's Hi-Fi, and the Moods, all the way from Manchester as well. And we've got a special guest still to be announced. We've also Joe Dark and the Wise Goldfish are going to be DJing, and £1 from every ticket will also go to Help Musicians Scotland. as well. So and yeah, if we'll put a wee phone number at the end if you've for Samaritans and other mental health. There is help. So yeah, just look after yourself. Maybe go easier on the swally, eat some food, do some exercise, talk to people, and remember that.
That's a very good point. Like alcohol, it's massive, and I drink too much. Do you know what I mean? And that's sometimes the tipping point for a lot of people as well when they're in a mindset and they're overdoing the booze. So that was good point to make, Mark.
Yeah, I think I think it's everybody that's in the music scene or the party scene or just at large or just living in Scotland. I mean, Scotland's it's its own party scene, and it's very easy. We're all guilty of it to just to overdo things, and yeah, I think that if you are doing that, then you're in a vicious cycle, and you're going to feel bad after it, and so, but yeah, and obviously that's what makes you feel better. But yeah, you need to try and get out of that cycle. And but just speak to people. Please do speak to people. And we're always here. It's you call that radio at gmail.com as well. So please get in touch. Don't ever think you're alone. And I think we're just going to wrap it up just now, John, because I know you're busy and so am I. I've got things to do and you've got places to be. So just a final shout out to the Calling Mustard Festival's coming up and your Fringe show. So just give us a wee run up. How is your summer looking?
Aye, so loads of brilliant festivals again. We've got Kelburn, Down the Rabbit Hole, Belladrum, Boomtown. We've got the Stranraer, I think it's called Party in the Park, but it's in Stranraer in August as well. We have got live at Troon actually. A few more in between. And then in amongst all that, the Fringe, Colonel Mustard and the Big Bad Wolf, 7 shows from the 5th to the 7th August and then the 15th to the 18th August. And that's at midday till 1 p.m. at the Gilded Balloon Debating Chamber. And at night time for 10 shows, Colonel Mustard and friends. And it's just going to be an amazing variety of music, comedy, poetry and all good things. And me and Mark are going to struggle to have a compliments rap battle, but but we're going to attempt it, and that's on the 8th August. So come along to that one.
Yeah. So I've not actually had a rap battle. I've been holding back for the big bucks, like waiting in a pay-per-view event where I could battle. But we're just going to be doing a compliments battle, and you're not even going to. It's just going to. It was £8, roughly about £8, and I think Spring Break, Dougie from Mickey Nines and Becky Wallace all playing that same night. That's incredible. So there's a wee calendar here as well, so we'll just get confirmation.
We also have, I think we've got the comedian Roscoe Cleland, who did say do it at the start, but I need to confirm with him. I actually need to get my finger out and do more stuff. But I won't put too much pressure on myself.
Yeah, quite right. Just do fuck all, mate. Just have a wee relaxed. just have a nice relaxing summer and then just come up and hopefully everything will be fine. So cheers for joining us, John. We are off. This is You Call That Radio. If you want to support You Call That Radio, you go to patreon.com/You Call That Radio.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only...
Well, what an adventure it's been. We've had an exclusive interview with John, the Colonel McMustard. Remember to get Fringe tickets for his shows. We had an exclusive interview with Frank Foodie and Cornflakes. We had an exclusive interview with Lauren Hill on a megabus. But more exclusive than that, we exclusively revealed that people are having parties after 3 a.m. and no one has ever exclusively revealed that before because it's never happened anywhere in the world ever. So big up to the exclusive reporters who exclusively revealed that young people are having parties. Shout outs to High Street Sandwich Company. Shout outs to Lunacy Cigarette Papers. Shout outs to Photography by Mundito. And most of all, shout outs to all our Patreons who are funding this madness. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Hopefully by episode 10 I'll actually have a clue about what's going on. But I appreciate all your support. It is amazing. You can, if you want to join in. Oh, shut. The fucking phone went. Yeah, if you want to fund the madness for a couple of £1 a month, you can go to patreon.com/you call that radio. We'll give you some bonus perks, benefits, discounts, material, all that stuff. So thank you very much.